All right. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
You see it? All right, great. Well, Marvin, thank you for this opportunity to talk with the Wonderful community and anyone else who will be coming across this. As he already said, my name is Paul Perkins, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Orion Electronics Company. We are a global consumer electronics company. So we're going to be talking about our flagship product today, which is an electric vehicle. But we also have a lot more products in our pipeline that are outside of transportation and really focused on how we can, really move people forward in the 21st century in terms of technology. And so I'm going to be talking about our flagship product, Orion Go, and the Orion Bike, which is a really cool and innovative bike and app, rideshare app that goes along with it. So just a quick overview of our team. So myself, I'm from Columbus, Ohio, but graduated from the University of Cincinnati and also studied abroad at the Beijing University of Technology, which is where we founded Orion at. I was at the Beijing University of Technology in 2013, which is where I met two of my other co-founders, Sydney Mwemba, who just recently got an MBA from the same university, and Pius Godose, who is our CTO, and also just got a PhD in machine learning from the same university. And then Colin Curry, who has been my fraternity brother for, I think, 12 years now, and also a graduate from the University of Cincinnati with a degree in industrial design. And he leads our design division. Ultimately, we're a group of really intelligent, somewhat biased, but I think the guys are intelligent, group of individuals who, once are empowered, I know we will do great things in this world. And that's our goal. So going ahead a little bit forward. So like I said, we develop affordable, innovative, and eco-friendly hardware and IoT products for consumers in underrepresented markets. It's a vision that we call the Internet of Us, or simply how can we use the internet to actually help us and not just entertain us like some of our other consumer electronic companies, Apple, Samsung, et cetera. And so our focus and problem that we're trying to solve right now is the fact that low-income communities, students, and young professionals have a lack of access to reliable transportation for their daily commutes. Someone is going to lose their job today simply because they can't get to work. And to me, that's a major problem. And in the most developed country in the world, I think the fact that our transportation system does not benefit or is truly affordable for the 100 million Americans who make under 30,000 a year is a major, major problem. And companies like Lime, Bird, Uber, et cetera, can solve this, but typically they're too expensive. They're not readily accessible in these neighborhoods, and their typical riders are disproportionately middle to high income individuals. And so how do we solve this? So like I said, Orion Go is our rideshare app, and we have some unique features like hot zones where you can only lock and unlock your bike within these zones so that the bikes are not thrown just anywhere in the middle of the street, around on sidewalks, etc. We have some point-based rewards and then commuter plans. So this is a completely subscription-based rideshare app, which means that you have to buy a monthly to 3 month to a year subscription, and it's not a pay per ride. And so it ranges anywhere from $10 to $60 for a full year. And then these are just some quick features about the bike. Once again, it's a really cool and innovative bike. It goes about 20 miles per hour, has about a 20-mile distance on a single charge. It's built from really high grade materials. And it's just a really fun and cool bike to ride on. And so to talk about the market, so this micromobility is an incredible market. It's been exponentially growing the past 5 years. And it's that much more important when you look at our current state with the pandemic and everything going on. And so, oh, sorry, I think I lost that a little bit. And so the global market sits at about 900 billion, but our focus is really the US market, and looking at this $300 billion market by 2030, and really trying to take a substantial market share within that market space by that time. And so our goal is 3%. We say 3% because we think that's where we can be the most competitive, and or that's what will allow us to be competitive in the market space. But obviously, we want to be the biggest that we can possible. And so this is a really crowded space. As you know, Lime, Bird, Lyft, Uber, etc., are major players in this marketplace, as well as city-backed and operated bike share systems like Red Bike in Cincinnati. But we think we can be competitive because one, it's dockless versus other ride share for electric bikes. There aren't really any electric bike companies that are in every major US city. There are a few, but there's still a really major opportunity for us to get in. Obviously, being affordable. So $10 a month, $60 a year is really, really affordable when you look at, for instance, the Red Bike is $8 per ride, or a Lime or Uber ride is anywhere from $5 to $10 per the first ride. And then the point-based rewards in our hot zones. And so in terms of our business model, so we are selling the bikes right now through pre-orders. And so we will be selling direct to consumer for our bikes. And then we also have the rideshare subscriptions, like I said, with the personal. And then where we get really unique is with our corporate and educational business models, where basically a corporation or institution pays us a contractual fee to provide free access to employees, students, residents, or whoever it might be. Right now, we're focused on onboarding apartment buildings because obviously those are the most people who those are the businesses who have the most people who would really benefit from using these bikes. But ultimately, our goal is to really focus on corporations like FedEx, Amazon, people who employ thousands of employees, Kroger, et cetera, et cetera. But they might not have access to affordable daily transportation options. And so just a quick product over phase. And so with phase one, we're in our direct sales, and the manufacturing cost per unit is about $535. We're selling the bike for anywhere from $899 to $999. And our goal is to do about 1,000 bikes in pre-sales and then 2,500 the first year. But it would really be great if we hit that 1,000 unit mark. And then from there, we're going to move into the bike share and ride share subscriptions. And then also phase two will bring on a lot more bikes that are in this ecosystem of a smart city transportation and just really moving the human race forward, I guess you can say. And so just a quick overview of our financial projections. So this graph just shows our revenue streams going through the first phase over the 5 years, and not including other products that we will do in the future. So this is just the Orion bike, the rideshare application, accessories, merch, and ads. And so as you can see, it's up and to the right, which is always good. But really, it's going to be an uphill grind to really take that market share and push our bikes out into into the market space. And then overall here is just a complete overview of what that will look like, including all of our products going forward. So, from projected 2.8 million this year, going through our first year to 1.4 billion by 5 years, our goal is to be a unicorn company and to hit that $1 billion mark within our first 5 years, the $1 billion revenue mark within our first 5 years. And in terms of an exit strategy, this is a life goal, a life project for me. This is not something I'm looking to sell off to anyone right now. Who knows what will happen in the future, but really our focus is to grow this company with venture capital funding, and then eventually IPO within the first 3 to 5 years, so that we can continue to not only make a return on investment, but really push our products out into not only the United States, but throughout the world. And so, like I said, we do have the bikes available for pre-order. If you go to www.orionec.com, you can pre-order this really cool bike for $50. And if you want to get the Founders Edition, which is pictured here, it's a full payment of $999. So that $50 pre-order, we have 5 other products that are available in colors from white and blue to gray and black. Just really cool. So check it out. And then also, while we're here, we've been grateful to have raised over 15K in our first round of funding with Wonder Fund. We just opened up our second round, and we're really looking to hit our 250K goal this round going around. And so for a minimum $100, you can invest today and get ownership in what I believe is going to be not only one of the most innovative and impactful companies of the 21st century, but a company that is really solving real problems for real people. So I appreciate you guys' time. I really hope that you find interest in what we're doing, and we can find your support. Thank you. Hold the universe.
Sorry, I was muted there. So Paul, thanks for taking the time there. So I have a question for you. You mentioned that you eventually would like to IPO the company, and in 3 to 5 years. What happens if that doesn't happen? How does an investor get their money back?
You know, great question. I mean, and the only other scenario would be to be acquired or to sell to another entity, which, you know, I think if we get to that point, that would be a conversation. But our real focus and plan is to really grow this company to a point to where we can IPO because, like I said, there's a lot of products past what we want to do with just the electric bikes. This is just our entry into really into the world and into our ecosystem. Um, and you know, for 4 to 5 years of the first building this company, we were focused on a smartphone, and we pivoted to focus on electric bikes to align better with investors and align better with where we are, you know, here in the United States and trying to solve a problem that's close to home. So for us, I think regardless, our focus is to go that IPO route. But at that point in time, you know, if we get down the road and we figure that it's something else better for us to go a different route, then that would be what we would do.
And then the last question I had is, do you have any notable discussions, letters of intent, conversations you're having right now with some potential customers there?
Yeah, so like I said, we're from the rideshare side. We are focused on apartment buildings and onboarding apartment buildings specifically. But we have been in talks with the University of Cincinnati, the Ohio State University. I'm still going through those talks, and we've gotten a lot further down the line with FedEx. Actually, we just recently have been in talks with FedEx, and we're working out to get them to a verbal agreement to for them to join our first, you know, kind of cohort, I guess you can say, for our pilot program. So we're going to start the rideshare as a pilot program for 90 days, and then once that 90 days is up, we'll give the corporations an opportunity to continue on longer. So we're still in the process of onboarding companies, and we haven't locked down anyone solid right now, but I think we're within the next 90 days, we'll be a lot further.
Okay. So I'm in our chat feature, I just put in the URL for where people can find your company and your offering page. Is there any last minute thoughts that you want to share before we move on, Paul?
No, I'm just I'm excited. You know, please, I'll drop my email in here as well. If you guys have any questions, you want to reach out to me personally, you just want to learn more about Orion or about electric bikes. You know, I wish I could, you know, sit here and talk all day about it because I definitely can. But I know we don't have the opportunity right now. But you know, I'm grateful for everyone who joined and everyone who will watch this. And yeah, like I think, you know, ultimately, you know, for us, this is not about, you know, trying to, you know, I put that $1 billion mark there, not because, you know, I have this want to just be $1 billion tech CEO. That would be great, but it's more the understanding of the problems that we need to solve. Only companies who have that much value and have that much impact, I think, have the ability to really change things or to really drive human beings into a new space, a new way of thinking, a new way of moving within our spaces. And really, that's our goal, is to not just be this entity that's just taking money from people, but that's providing real value to our world, and really creating a future that we want all of our kids and grandkids to live in. So that's what we're here to do.